Gaudete, all you people. It's rose, not pink. Yes, I'm sure your priest said that yesterday to you, but you're listening to the Catholic Lunch Break now, and we're going to catch up on everything Catholic in Houston. My name is Tim Mott, and I'm the general manager here at AM 1430. So they told me I had to host a local show, and I said, what are we going to do? Well, we're going to talk about only things that are Catholic in Houston. And boy, we have a bunch of great people in the studio today to talk to you. And we've got Terry Johnson, the founder of the Stella Maris Center, with a bunch of great things coming up. We're going to do kind of a year-end wrap-up for them. And looking forward into 2023, the youth group leader at the Hispanic youth group at St. Bartholomew, they're taking a trip. They're taking a big trip this year. You're gonna hear about what's going on there. Our Pro-Life in Houston segment with Teresa Endsley from 40 Days for Life. It's exciting, especially on today, the Feast of Our Lady of Guadalupe, who is the patroness of the unborn, and a big concert at the Co-Cathedral this week. It's free. It's free, and you can go to it. David Magiana is running the board today. David, congratulations on your new title.
Thank you, Tim.
Yeah, it's still producer, though, here on this show.
Yeah, that's true.
That doesn't change anything, man. Doesn't change anything.
No. So it's all good. So it's been a blessing to be here, and a blessing to be here today as well. So, been gone for a couple of weeks, I think.
Oh, there's been a little bit cold going around. Adrian got it. My family got it. You got it. I was out for a while. Okay, but we're all good today.
We're good.
We're good today.
Yes.
Not contagious anymore. And radio. I mean, you can always, radio's always there for people. That's the great thing about radio, is that it never goes away. It's playing whether you're listening or not.
Yeah, even when you're home, you're not feeling well, turn on the radio, and you'll get charged back up.
Absolutely. And Carol Herrera running our video today. If you want to look at the video, you can go to youtube.com/grnonline or facebook.com/grnonline. I think it's even on Twitter. So GRN Online, of course, is the place to be. Carol, how are you doing?
I'm doing just great, praise Jesus, and thank goodness, too, that I haven't gotten sick yet, but I know that's going around. People are getting sick
You brought in some lovely flowers for our studio here. You helped us set up a little Christmas tree and put up the Christmas cards over there. You can't really see them on the camera, but they're going across the bookshelf. It's really cute. Thank you so much.
Well, I thought I'd make this area a little more festive, a little more in the Christmas spirit, which we're already in.
It does take a woman's touch. Don't ask me or David about decorating.
Well, I enjoyed it. But how was your weekend?
It was a good weekend. It was a good weekend. Today's the Feast of Our Lady of Guadalupe,
yes, praise Jesus. Yes, amen.
Did you happen to go to Our Lady of Guadalupe on your pilgrimage?
I didn't go yesterday. I went to St. Joseph Catholic Church in downtown Houston, and only because I knew Our Lady of Guadalupe was going to be packed. I had heard that. There's a big participation over there all the time. And so this time I went to St. Joseph's Catholic Church, and the festivities there started at 9, and they went on till midnight with the dinner following. So I left at midnight.
That's great.
Our Lady knows I love her. I worshiped her last night and praised her. Yes, I was good. But yes, it was beautiful. They had a procession with you were going to help me with this.
The Matachines?
Matachines Indians.
Yes.
They also had mariachis there. And they dedicated roses to her, or to Our Lady of Guadalupe. And at the end of the night, they also sang Los Mañanitas to her, which is a very popular Hispanic song that's still sang today to other people as well for their birthdays and other events, too. So it was a wonderful Mass. I really enjoyed it. I'm a little tired this morning, so I'm chatting. It's because, it was late by the time I got home.
Good news.
So
it's afternoon now.
Yes,
so.
yes. Thank you, Tim.
Well, thank you for listening today and for joining us as part of your lunch break. So we're going to be talking about with a bunch of great people today. But before I get to that, let's start with prayer like we usually do. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Amen.
Remember, O most gracious Virgin Mary, that never was it known that anyone who fled to thy protection, implored thy help, or sought thine intercession was left unaided. Inspired by this confidence, I fly unto thee, O Virgin of Virgins, my Mother. To thee do I come, before thee I stand, sinful and sorrowful. O Mother of the Word incarnate, despise not my petitions, but in thy mercy hear and answer me. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Amen.
One piece of big station news is that the car raffle has started.
Wow.
And, I talked about David's new title. He's actually running like business management stuff behind the scenes, even more than he was before now. And one of those things is the car raffle. And you got this started earlier than ever, man. Like last year we did a soft start before Christmas so people could buy their raffle tickets as Christmas gifts. But this year, I think it's even a week earlier.
I know. Over the weekend, I got some emails. and so what that means is that people are buying online. They're buying online and buying their tickets at our website, grnonline.com.
So I'm not going to push it too hard right now because this is the soft start. We don't want to tire people out too soon with the car raffle tickets. But wow, you could win.
Houston's already bought some, Tim.
You could win a 2023 Mercedes-Benz CLA 250.
Wow.
Brand new.
Sounds fancy.
It's not even 23 yet, and you could win this car.
Wow.
Well, we're going to give it away on February 24th, and you can get your tickets at grnonline.com/raffle.
Yeah, we, dear listeners, we thank you for your support, and this is one of our fundraisers that, Tim, it does require some work, right? But it's a great chance.
It's the most fun that we get to do.
Yeah, right. It's a great chance that we get to, and opportunities. We meet our listeners, and they buy tickets, and somebody's going to win.
Yeah, somebody's going to win this car. I hope it's from Houston.
I know.
And
we're due, Tim.
Yeah, we're due. So go to grnonline.com/raffle. Look at the car, buy some tickets, and maybe wrap them up and give them to somebody for this Christmas.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh wait, if they buy it online, do they get the tickets? No, I think they you could print it out.
Yes.
Yeah, you can print it out that way. Okay, great. So let's go ahead and bring on our first guest here, Nick Sawicki, who is the Associate Director of Development for the Archdiocese of Galveston, Houston. Welcome to the Catholic Lunch Break, Nick.
It's great to be with you, Tim. Thanks for having me.
Great to have you here. There's a big concert coming up at the Co-Cathedral this Thursday. Can you tell me about it?
That's right, Tim. This Thursday, December 15th at 7:30 p.m., right in the heart of downtown Houston, we're having our inaugural Festival of Lessons and Carols at the Co-Cathedral with Cardinal DiNardo.
I like to hear that word inaugural. So you're really telling me this is the first time that's the Lessons and Carols service at the Co-Cathedral?
It's the first time at the Co-Cathedral, and it's the first time the Archdiocese has held it. The seminary's held it for many years. There are several parishes that have done it, but it's the first time, what we consider prime time at the Co-Cathedral.
Right. Wow. Okay, so what's it going to be like?
It's going to be, we're hoping for a packed house, but this is just a wonderful tradition. Began in England around 1880. It really started as a way to get men out of pubs on Christmas Eve. So it has that sense of jollity, and we keep that intact, but obviously with a different mission. It's a way to bring people together through song and through prayer to really prepare for the Christmas season.
Yeah, so the Lessons and Carols, that's a fun name for it because it's a little different than any... It's like a mixture of a prayer service and a concert altogether.
That's right. So you have the carols section. So we have the Cor Jesu Choir of the Co-Cathedral performing throughout the evening under the direction of Dr. Krista Miller. And they have prepared a wonderful program. They have the greatest hits, of course, Hark the Herald Angels Sing, and Angels We Have Heard on High, and O Come, Emmanuel, all these wonderful traditional hymns. But they're also bringing something new. So this year we'll see the Houston premiere of a new piece called Earth, Strike Up Your Music, a new composition by the wonderful composer Jessica French. It'll be the first time it's been performed in Houston, and it will be a wonderful, wonderful way to just introduce it to the community. So that's the carol section, and of course we have a full complement of brass and percussion and the famous Pazzi organ at the Co-Cathedral. It's really just going to be an all-encompassing musical performance. So we're really looking forward to that.
Yeah, the Lessons and Carols walks kind of through salvation history, starting with Genesis, the fall of the creation, the fall of man, and then the promise of the Messiah, and building up through there. You get these readings interspersed with the carols that bring you all the way to the incarnation.
That's right. So from the moment of the fall to the moment of the prophecies to the moment of the birth of Christ, we have a very well-tailored program that meditates and brings us through that storyline, that truncated narrative that really helps us focus on what is happening on Christmas Day when Christ comes into the world. And so the lessons themselves will be presented by a number of folks from Catholic institutions across the Archdiocese. We have representatives from Catholic Charities, from San Jose Clinic, from Catholic Schools Office, St. Mary's Seminary. It's a real archdiocesan-wide event, and we're trying to bring the whole community together to prepare.
Well, this is going to be free, though, so everyone can come to this, whether or not they can purchase a ticket or not.
It's absolutely free. We want people to come. We want them to pray. We want them to sing with us. We want people to come together and get ready for Jesus.
That's one of the fun things about Christmas. It's one of the few times in our modern culture, post iPhone and even post iPod, really, nobody sings together anymore. But for Christmas. everyone knows the Christmas carols. Everyone knows the Christmas songs. And when you get a big group together in a church like the Co-Cathedral, especially Co-Cathedral being such a huge indoor space and that great acoustic where the sound just reflects and reverberates, you get the whole choir, the whole congregation singing together. It's the most joyful, most electrifying kind of experience that you can have possible, I think.
Absolutely. And that moment, the closing hymn is traditionally Hark the Herald Angels Sing.
Mm-hmm.
And when you move out with everyone singing that together and the doors of the church are opened wide, you are projecting that into the world. You are projecting that this is the moment we are coming for, this is the moment we are celebrating, and we're moving forward from here with that spirit.
Okay, so a time and place, and how do people sign up for it?
It's, again, it's December 15th, this Thursday at 7:30 p.m. at the Co-Cathedral of the Sacred Heart. Sign-ups are requested but not required, and you can do that at archgh.org/lessons and carols. And again, all are welcome to attend this Thursday, December 15th at 7:30.
Okay, December 15th, this Thursday, 7:30 p.m., archgh.org/lessons and carols. But don't worry, if you can't get to the website, you can just show up. Go to the Co-Cathedral this Thursday, 7:30 p.m. It's going to be the high point of your Christmas season, I almost guarantee you, unless you have some sort of ace up your sleeve that I don't know. Hey, Nick, thank you very much for joining us here on the Catholic Lunch Break.
Thank you for having me, Tim.
And if you can't, well, actually, even if you can, there's another concert that I was just made aware of. It is by the Abreu family and the Dunn family. If you've been around KSHJ for any number of years now, you've probably heard of the Dunn family fiddlers, and you've also heard of Dr. Gerard Abreu, he's the sponsor.
Our sponsor, yeah.
He's a sponsor for this hour of the radio station. Well, his family, he's got, I think, 9 kids, and they all play violin too.
Wow, cool.
So between the Dunn family fiddlers that do Irish dancing, fiddling, singing, and then the Abreu family, which is a family of classical violinists, they have combined their forces to put on a Christmas concert as well. This one's going to be on Friday, so you can go to the Lessons and Carols at the Co-Cathedral on Thursday, and you can go to the Abreu Dunn concert on Friday. Friday, 7 p.m. at University Baptist Church in Middlebrook. They have a suggested donation, but it's a suggested donation. So if you don't let cost stop you there.
Right.
They're raising money to support good medical ministry. But the Abreu Dunn concert is Friday, 7 p.m. at University Baptist Church in Middlebrook. It's not a Catholic church, but these are Catholic families.
Yes, they
I
are.
highly recommend them, though. They're quite talented.
That's good. I'm glad to hear that.
Okay.
I'm glad to hear that.
So we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll be talking with Teresa Ensley, the campaign strategist for 40 Days for Life. For our Pro-Life in Houston segment, we'll find out what the lay of the land is right now in the pro-life world. So stick around on the Catholic Lunch Break here on the Guadalupe Radio Network.
Southeast Houston Cardiology is a proud sponsor of your Catholic radio station, and the doctor is in. Southeast Houston Cardiology has been serving patients with heart disease and vascular disease with up-to-date, compassionate, and comprehensive care for more than 20 years. Southeast Houston Cardiology has 2 locations, Webster and Pasadena. You can contact them online at southeasthoustancardiology.com or 281-338-4004.
I'm Marie, the Respect Life Coordinator at St. Lawrence Catholic Church and Director of Christian Voices for Life. Our culture can become pro-life, one changed mind at a time. Respectful conversations with our pro-choice friends can help them to understand and accept the pro-life view. Christian Voices for Life has a wealth of pro-life information and a free weekly email with a little education, a prayer, and an action item to equip pro-life individuals to be a voice for life. Sign up at ChristianVoicesForLife.org.
KSHJ is sponsored by the Knights of Columbus Rangel Agency. For over 130 years, the primary mission of the Knights of Columbus has been to provide financial security to their members and their families, offering life insurance, long-term care insurance, disability income insurance, and annuity products. The Knights of Columbus are your shield for life. To learn more, find your agent, or discuss agent career opportunities in the Southeast Texas area, please contact General Agent Tony Rangel at 281-931-9100.
At Cathedral High School, our faculty and students are building Catholic culture through a classical education in truth, goodness, and beauty to form students who will know, love, and serve Christ while pursuing truth. Our founding students are already praying daily at Mass, creating music and art which enriches the soul, and grappling with mankind's most important thoughts. And we are looking forward to welcoming new freshman and sophomore students in 2023. Find us at cathedralhouston.org, Facebook, or Instagram. Cor ad cor locutor. Heart speaks to heart. At Cathedral.
You're listening to the Catholic Lunch Break, where we catch up with everything Catholic in Houston. My name is Tim Mott, and joining us right now is Teresa Ensley, who is here for our Pro-Life in Houston segment. Teresa, campaign strategist for 40 Years for Life. Welcome back.
It's great to be here, Tim. Happy Feast of Our Lady of Guadalupe.
Absolutely. Happy Feast of Our Lady of Guadalupe. I wonder if there's like a traditional greeting that I'm not aware of for this feast. Like we say Merry Christmas and Happy Easter and Blessed Advent, but like Feast of Our Lady of Guadalupe, like, I don't know. There's got to be something.
I'm not familiar with that one, but I'm sure she gets involved with the salutations for Christmas and for Easter. There are so many for them.
Well, it's Our Lady every day of the year. As a matter of fact, the mission at St. Teresa's in Sugar Land this year is about Mary to the max, Mary and maximalism. Like, hey, entrust everything to Mary. She's the quickest way to Jesus.
And that's because Christ decided to come through her. You know, he was born of her. And it was her, yes, her fiat that allowed us to even have access to his physical body, which is now still present with us in the Eucharist. And so we're so grateful to her, yes. And what's so beautiful about Our Lady of Guadalupe is that when she appeared to Juan Diego back in 1531 on December the 12th, you know, and she asked him to collect those roses and to present them to the bishop to encourage him to see, yes, she really had appeared and she really wanted to have a temple there on Tepeyac. She also provided an image to us that is miraculous, that is from her, that is, you know, a gift from God that he allowed it to happen. And it's just so beautiful that through her intercession, we can still continue to grow, and we're seeing those conversions continue to still happen.
Yeah, she's the best evangelist ever, and that is why EWTN opened on December 12th in 1980, and the Guadalupe Radio Network were dedicated to Our Lady of Guadalupe. Funny thing, and this is a great reminder for anyone who just tuned in and doesn't know this. It's just got to be a good PSA. And as Catholics, we can forget this. Not everyone knows that the image of Our Lady Guadalupe is miraculous.
That's true.
I grew up thinking it was just some sort of gang sign from Southern California. No, seriously, that was what was in my head until I realized after becoming Catholic, it's actually miraculous.
Tim was a convert.
Yes.
Evidence. So as far as, you know, and it's one of those things where a lot of people think, oh my goodness, why do you spend so much time talking about Our Lady? Why would you focus in on Our Lady as patroness of the unborn? Why would you have her be patroness of the Americas? Can't we just go straight to Christ? Mm-hmm. And it's like, well, Christ chose to come to us through Mary, and all of these graces come through Mary as a result of that decision of God. And so, but as Mary appeared even on this tilma that should have disintegrated within 10 years.
Yeah.
You know, it's lasted almost 500 years, and the image is lifted off of the actual fabric. Like, it's not actually, it is on it, but it's not soaked into the fibers. And if you were to stick a stethoscope where Christ is, where she is a pregnant virgin, that is presented, a princess, a pregnant virgin image, you can stick the stethoscope on her womb area and there will be a baby's heartbeat that beats at 115 times, you know.
Oh, my goodness.
So much faster than an adult heart. So we know that is showing Christ. And as she stands in front of the sun, which is a symbol of the gods that the Aztecs were worshiping at that time, and she stands over the moon, which is a tie back to Revelation, she also has her head bowed. Like, I love the image of Our Lady of Grace, that shows all these graces coming through her, these rings that are on her fingers.
Yeah.
But this one shows her humbly, you know, showing that she's more powerful than this quote unquote sun god, but still not God, you know, himself, or, you know, so we don't want to take that for granted. She is the highest level of creation. We can look to her for her example, but that being said, she is not God. And so coming as, talking to a convert,
Yeah.
and I know you know this, and just having grown up in that, in a culture where I was often told like, oh, you worship Mary, like you're giving her too much attention. There's no way you can give her more attention than God. And if you are somehow raising her to the level of a deity, no one's going to be more upset about that than Mary.
Oh yeah, and God will correct you.
Yes, he will.
Yeah. Yes. Okay, so that's man, this is such a perfect thing. She's the patroness of the unborn. Because on the image, that black sash that she's wearing, apparently in the native culture there, the Aztec culture, that indicated that she's pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
So in the image, she is actually bearing the unborn Jesus right there. So how does Mary, especially Our Lady of Guadalupe, play a role in the spiritual warfare of the pro-life cause?
Yes. So as far as Our Lady of Guadalupe goes, I know that there are so many reasons that she was chosen for being the patroness of the unborn. Like they could have chosen any title of Our Lady and it would have been beautiful, but she did give us that image, and there is that unborn child aspect of Christ being in her womb,
right,
in that image. There's also the reality that she was appearing to the Aztecs, who were very involved in child sacrifice at that time, and she appears as mother. She didn't say, I'm the Immaculate Conception, which is still beautiful.
Right.
She says, I am the mother of all the living, and she is, because Christ gave her as our mother to St. John on the cross. And so that is how she appears in this. Also, you'll see this everywhere. Like all these, if anyone that goes to any marches for life next month, you're going to see Our Lady of Guadalupe images everywhere. Any march I've ever been to that has a pro-life march has images of Our Lady of Guadalupe, and that's across the nation. That's not just here in the Houston area where there's a lot of Hispanic influence and that we're so close to Mexico. This is literally a gift that she's given to us. And part of the reason that we look to her during this aspect when facing the aspect of spiritual warfare is because it is her humility and it is her yes to God that makes her such a powerful advocate to, in facing evil. And so we can really focus on Christ through her eyes rather than focusing on the pain and the suffering and the fear that can come up through the pro-life movement.
Yeah. So turning our eyes towards hope, towards the goodness,
hope.
And not towards the evil and pain that is being perpetrated. Now, you have led a lot of street ministries, street campaigns on and pro-life or outside of abortion clinics. What does it feel like doing spiritual warfare that way? Do you have you ever forgotten to pray and felt that it's coming out different?
Well, it's very easy whenever you're leading a ministry, any ministry, and I definitely have experienced this with the pro-life movement. That you can get really bogged down in the details, and this little tips, and like, this person needs this, and I can't give them that, and I need to do this, but my priority is that, and so you can get really bogged down in the details. You can also get bogged down in the fact that there's a lot of fear out there. I know a lot of people, when they first go out to pray outside of that massive abortion facility on I-45, it's 7 stories tall. And people will look at it and think, oh my goodness. And they'll say, this reminds me of Tepeyac because of the shape of the building.
Yeah.
And I would say, and I would think, as much as we need to realize how urgent the situation is for each woman that's going in, that we need to be praying for her, really our focus needs to be on Our Lady and on Christ, who is the King of Peace.
Yeah.
And if we start to feel that peace start to disintegrate from us and we're starting to get really anxious, because there is a life and a death situation in front of us. There is an aspect of imminent distress right in front of us that should be taken seriously. So we're not Pollyanna-ish about it. We're not like, oh, Mary's going to take care of everything. Like we're not imagining up some sort of fake solution, but at the same time, we need to dig for that peace that's deeper, that allows for us to realize whatever happens at this moment, there is something bigger planned, and there is healing after abortion as well. So even if your witness isn't able to help change the mind of these women in that moment, which does happen, hopefully your witness will help her to break that cycle in her life so that way she doesn't come back for another abortion.
Yeah.
And during this past 40 Days for Life campaign, which just concluded in November, we actually saw even with the overturning of Roe v. Wade, we saw more campaigns around the world open up. There were over 600 campaigns. And we saw over 500 babies that were saved.
Amazing.
The number of babies that were saved actually went down, but that's because the places where we were getting our largest number of turnarounds, it was illegal in those states to have an abortion. So we were still seeing saves there because women were still going to that facility not knowing it was illegal or thinking they were going to go be helped to another state.
Yeah.
But they were turning around and choosing life.
Making abortion illegal, it really messes up your numbers. I mean, come on.
It does. It's praise the Lord. They're not showing up.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
So what's currently happening with 40 Days for Life? What's the next thing we should be looking for?
So we are continuing to be out there and praying, and just, there's the 365 campaigns that are continuing to go. The next spring campaign is going to begin with Lent. Beginning, so already past Advent, into Lent.
And I thought that getting the Christmas things up in the store at Halloween was too early. Now you're talking about Lent in December?
Lent, yes.
You're as bad as
That's where my
Walmart.
brain,
Okay.
no, we're just preparing in advance.
Just preparing, yes.
So, so it begins November the 22nd and goes through April the 2nd. So if you want to register this early, there are campaigns that already have their websites up. People are already filling out applications. But if you are someone who thinks you could lead a campaign, or someone internationally, you're like, hey, my friend and my family member in California. We have more campaigns in California than in any other state. My friend in Colorado, we're seeing an abortion facility open up in a couple of the cities in Colorado. So, my friend's telling me about this, what can they do? We have an already structured plan for you in place with 40 Days for Life. And that is one of the things that, I wanted to make sure we addressed this time around, because it really, at the end of the day, is a spiritual warfare. And so if you feel like, well, I don't know if I can, it's not just about us. There's no way I could just do it by myself. There are people that are out there. You're interacting with so many churches, so many pastors, so many amazing people, and the organization at Houston Coalition for Life here locally that continues on leading the prayer outside of the abortion facility here in Houston. There's still people coming. There's still people entering. So even if you're in a state where abortion is illegal, that prayer is still needed.
Right.
And so you're not by yourself. It's not just you. And if you decide to become a leader or looking at that potentially, or maybe your family member, your extended family member is, it's not just about them. This is really about offering Christ what we have. And what we have is not going to be perfect like Mary. We're not sinless like Mary, but we can offer what we have. And so this is a great time to really spiritually fortify yourself. Advent is a great time to look at that aspect of penance, look at the aspect of returning to the sacraments if you've been away. This is a great time to really just focus in. And if you are looking for gifts, I love books on spiritual warfare. There are so many of them. But just look into that and just really avail yourself of the power of the rosary.
Amen. Yes.
Because I know the top exorcist there in Rome, I believe his name is Father Amora, but I could be wrong.
Oh,
about
is that Father Gabriel Amorth?
Yes, Father Gabriel Amorth, chief exorcist of Rome, was told during one of the exorcisms by the devil that every Hail Mary is like a blow to my head. And so when you're out there, it's not like we are focused on just hitting the devil upside the head. But we're focused in on is defending ourselves and defending these women and the unborn who are being attacked by abortion. And so as we see it as a spiritual warfare, we focus in on the King of Peace, his mother, and on the help that we have available here in the community. And Houston is so, so generous. Over this past year, we talked to 2 crisis pregnancy centers. We talked about the new little one with Houston Coalition for Life, the new bus that offers the free ultrasounds and free pregnancy tests. We talked to the Archdiocese about their bioethics classes. There's plenty of ways to get involved. And so I would really encourage you to do that this coming year.
Yeah, if you want to get involved with a pro-life ministry and you're not sure where, just email me. Go to grnonline.com. I'll let you know. I got so many connections. Hey, Teresa Ensley from 40 Days for Life. I know you have a baby coming soon.
Yes.
You want to get the audience praying for you about that?
Oh, yes. Please pray for me. I am less than a month away from delivery myself.
It's, you're on the other side of it now. This is your first one, right?
This is my first one.
Okay.
So we've prayed for many, many women. And fortunately, thank God, I have a lot of support and not a lot of complications. I should say probably basically zero other than the normal.
Even a good pregnancy is a lot of work. So I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to let you take the next month off.
Thank you.
Yeah, send the substitute. Send the substitute.
I will do
But
that.
I want to see you bright and early in February, though.
We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see about February.
Teresa Ensley, thank you so much. 40daysforlife.org is the website, and we are having a great time here. We're going to take a quick break, but I want to remind you that the car raffle for the Guadalupe Radio Network has started. You could win a 2023 Mercedes-Benz CLA 250. I'm holding it right here for the camera if you want to see it on our Facebook or YouTube video, GRN Online. But you can go to grnonline.com, buy some raffle tickets there. Print it out, put it in an envelope, put a nice bow on it. You could put it under the tree for somebody. They could win a Catholic Radio car, a Mercedes-Benz, and you're supporting Catholic Radio at the same time. Just wanted to toss that out there for you. grnonline.com/raffle. When we come back, we're going to be talking with Ana Leal Garza, who is the leader of the Christus Vivid Hispanic Young Adult Group at St. Bartholomew's. So stick around on the Catholic Lunch Break here on AM 1430.
Hi, I'm Joel Matthews, business owner and partner with TRO CPA. I'm a proud sponsor of this Guadalupe Radio Network station, and I think you should be too. As Catholics, I believe we should put our money where our faith is. And as a CPA, I help small business owners make wise decisions about their money every day. You can find out more about what I do and why I sponsor KSHJ by going to my website, trocpa.com. That's trocpa.com.
You can be an angel of Advent to a family in need this year. Your gift to Catholic Charities of the Archdiocese of Galveston-Houston will help a family struggling with poverty. You can provide food, safe housing, mental health care, employment assistance, and more. Please make a gift to the Angels of Advent campaign to help a family take the first step toward a better life this Christmas. Give now at catholiccharities.org/angels. God bless.
KSHJ is brought to you by Obsta Plumbing, a family-owned, licensed plumbing company that has served Katy, Sugarland, Cypress, and surrounding areas since 2010. Paul and Dorinda Obsta started their plumbing business with an open heart and a desire to serve the community. They are faithful Catholics and help to organize our Catholic Radio Prayer Breakfast, too. Obsta Plumbing plumbs through any obstacle. To learn more, visit obstaplumbinginc.com. That's OBSTA plumbinginc.com.
Who likes running and wants to help support a great organization? Hi, my name is Mark Rosen with the Knights of Columbus number 12320 from St. Martha Parish in Kingwood. I want you to join me for our 24th annual Texas Marathon in Kingwood on New Year's Day 2023. We'll have lots of food and drink and great swag for the runners. All proceeds benefit children's charities. For more information and to register, go to texasmarathonkingwood.com.
You're listening to the Catholic Lunch Break. We're catching up on everything Catholic in Houston. And one thing that's I love to connect with is the rest of the network. We talk about Houston stuff on this show, but I'd like to remind you that the Guadalupe Radio Network is 39 radio stations in a bunch of different cities, including San Antonio. We have a great one in San Antonio. That's actually where my boss, our vice president, Richard Reyna, is. And the reason I bring him up is today is the Feast of Our Lady of Guadalupe. And every year on the Feast of Our Lady of Guadalupe, Richard does a pilgrimage walk from Our Lady of Guadalupe Catholic Church in Elodis to Our Lady of Guadalupe Catholic Church in downtown San Antonio. He walks that whole way, praying the rosary over and over again. He always asks the rest of us for our intentions so he can lift us up as well. So Richard's doing that as we speak right now. It's about 17 miles that he does. David, did you know about this before?
Yeah, I did, and he's been texting us as he's going through today. So thank you, Richard.
It's a wonderful thing, and again, a way to highlight Our Lady of Guadalupe. And another way that we're going to do that right now is to talk to Ana Leal Garza, who is joining us for the first time. Welcome.
Hi, thank you for having me. Happy Feast Day.
Happy Feast Day to you too. You got a lovely dress on there that really kind of matches the Aztec theme of everything. Hispanic ministry.
Yes, exactly. Very cultural, very practical for us to wear during the masses, all the celebrations.
Yes. So you are with the Christus Vivit Hispanic Young Adult Group at St. Bartholomew in Katy. Tell me a little about your story, how you got involved in that.
So basically, long story short, I was born in Mexico, came to California because of my dad's job. Then we moved over here. When I came to St. Bart's, there was no young adult group. And I was in shock because it's a great parish, beautiful community, but I had nobody to talk to. I moved in the middle of the summer in 2018. I didn't know anybody. We had no family, and I couldn't, find my community in church. And so I kept complaining to my mom. I kept praying about it. And long story short, my mom met another lady whose son was going through the same thing. We connected. We were like, this needs to happen. You know how the rest goes. God's puts everything together. We got a great spiritual advisor, Father Ricardo Ariola.
Oh, he's wonderful. He's been on our show several times.
Yes, so he's awesome. And so, we made our charter and everything, really put every single detail into prayer. And then we were wondering, like, okay, who's going to be our patron saint, patroness, patron. Obviously, JP2, Don Bosco, St. John Bosco. We had all these names come up. And then we were like, okay, we need to bring the big guns. Like, let's go talk to Father Rick. And then he just read our charter and he's like, and then it's those things where you look at it and you're like, why didn't I see that
It's so obvious.
We kept on putting throughout our mission statement, like, we're here to get a community for them going to strive for sainthood, to be able to like relate to other people, amongst our struggles. And we kept on using like the pronoun she and, little glimpses of Mary here and there. And Father Rick was like, just read it once and was like, well, it sounds like it needs to be Mary. And we were like, yeah, like, okay, that was kind of obvious. And so then, we really put it into prayer. Our Lady of Guadalupe, has been our patron saint for I think the 3 years that we've had the group now, and we've definitely seen her fruits. Father Rick is a very, big, devout Marian man.
He's from Mexico too, yeah.
Yes, exactly. And then Deacon Bill Wagner, he's also a very big, we call him our spiritual abuelito. He, loves us, we love him right back. And he's also a very devout Marian man. And we've definitely have a bunch of, like the spiritual fatherness side, a lot of great men on our backs, but we definitely have Mary. And through her intercession
I bet Deacon Bill's listening right now. Hi, Deacon Bill. How you doing?
Hello, Deacon Bill.
Yeah. So how many people in the group? How big is it? What do you guys do? How often do you get together?
Our total is about, I want to say between 35 to 40, but They come in seasons.
Of course,
most of them are full-time students.
Hey, I know what it's like being 20-something.
Exactly. You're right there.
Not right now, but back when I was 20-something.
But yes, you know how it is. A lot of them are working either full-time or part-time while they're going to school. So we usually in our meetings, we'll get around 20, give or take, plus or minus 5. And then during the summer is when everybody's here. It's a big old family reunion. And so but the total is about 35 and 40.
You meet weekly?
Yes.
Well, is it fun? Or is it a lot of work? Like, what do you guys do?
Oh, no. Very fun. So I will say ever since, even before we got our full core team, we go to adoration every Monday. That has always been constant. Unless there's a traditional Latin Mass that Father Rick does, adoration every single Monday, that has not stopped.
Yeah, I noticed that the name of the group is in Latin, not Spanish.
Yes.
So Christus Vivit, Christ lives.
Yes.
Why did you choose Latin?
Another thing. So you'll see here that God puts things right in front of me and it takes me a minute. So Pope Francis came out with this encyclical called Christus Vivit, and it's specifically about young adult and youth groups. And it came around the same time we were, starting to group, I want to say maybe a year earlier. And I was like, oh, that's perfect. And I was like, we will find the name of the group right here. And I would read through it. It's a beautiful encyclical. I do recommend anybody to read it, whether, young or adult with your own kids. It's super great. And I kept on micro looking into every single word. And I was like, where is it? And I was like, oh my gosh, break. And I closed the book and I see the front page and it's Christus Vivit. And I was like, oh, that sounds great. And we really love it because, yes, we are a Hispanic young adult group. But to be in the group, you don't necessarily need to be Hispanic. As long as you like tacos, you're in. That's what we say.
Hey, that's everybody, right?
Exactly. So you don't have to be Hispanic. The reason why we put, Hispanic there, though, is because most Hispanic young adults do tend to stay home during the college season. There's a big need for Hispanic, young adult groups. Although, we are born Catholic, most of us, we still see a big disparity between being culturally Catholic and a true devout Catholic.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to put my emphasis there personally, but I felt like Christus Vivit was really a beautiful way that it's universal, right? It's not an English name, it's not a Spanish name, it's right back down to our Catholic
The
roots.
official language of the church.
And we don't know Latin, so we knew we wanted it something in Latin, but do you speak Latin? No. Okay, well, we'll see. And so, that's basically where the name came from.
Well, that's perfect, and it's the tie-in with the Pope's document there and the Vatican is actually great because I have a note here that you guys are going to World Youth Day in Lisbon in July. So, you want to tell me about that? How did that trip come about?
So, same thing. We really wanted to go on the trip. I've been telling people we're going since the last World Youth Day. It's happening. Where is it? I don't know. But, we're going. And so basically, we just kind of were looking at travel agencies. We found a great Catholic agency with, a bunch of cool, little travel packages. My hope was to get 10 people to go because, same thing, money, school, there's a lot of college debt going around right now. And COVID did not make things easier for people. And I was like, if I can get 10 people to go, if Jesus wants these 10 people to go, we will go. Long story short, we have 23 right now.
Wow.
So it's been super, super great. And we're just super excited. We're going to go see Our Lady of Fatima. We're going to go hope to see the Pope in person. And I really love talking about it because right now, we're in the midst of preparing to go.
Yeah.
And so we're doing the spiritual prep. We're trying to do fundraising.
And preparation kind of brings a group together. Advent is the preparation for Christmas. That's the anticipation is half the excitement.
Exactly. And a lot of people do talk about the effects, the afterwards of World Youth Day. But I think a lot of people forget, and I'm just going through this right now. It's my first time going. But in order to get to World Youth Day, it's a whole other, set of spiritual challenges and preparations because things happen. I've had friends, or, I call them all my friends because we all are. But, people that will put down their deposit, they want to go, and all of a sudden a part of their truck gets stolen.
Oh, no.
And it crazy things where they'll put the money down and things happen. And then for one way or another, they're sticking strong or going through it. But I think people really forget how hard it is to even get there sometimes. And I really do admire them for keeping going because it's not easy. It's a lot of budgeting, especially with, college. A lot of people around that time, they're like, I'm going to start my job, but I'll go. That's how I am right now. I just actually took my nursing boards today.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
How did it go?
Well, I did it today. So specifically, Mother Mary could help me.
Yeah.
I was like, this is the only way it's happening.
Yeah.
But I have to change a whole bunch of stuff because, I want to go. And it's me and a couple of other girls included that are having internships around that time that are like, doesn't matter what happens. If I have to wait for a job, if, they lay me off, whatever, but we're going.
Priorities.
And I'm like, great, let's be jobless together.
No, God will find a place for you.
Exactly.
And you put him first and all the other things follow.
Exactly.
That's absolutely right. So is there anything that you guys need? Sounds like you've got a full crew there. Do you have any spots open for the trip?
We do have 2 spots open. I do deeply believe that Jesus is holding on these spots for certain people. We have 25 spots.
Okay.
And like I said before, we have 23 right now. There's always these 1 or 2 spots that keep saying, for one reason or another, they're not closing. I really do think that Jesus is looking for a specific person. So I'm talking to everybody I know. We are looking, no preference.
They could be listening right now.
Yes, but if you're listening right now, especially priests or seminarian, we would love to have, a spiritual companion as well. So anybody that's up for it, we have 2 spots for you.
So look for the Christus Vivit group at St. Bartholomew. Their information's on the website. You can find them there. So there was one other thing. Did you the Mexican folklore dance group? Are you part of that?
So I was. Right now we are currently on a little hiatus with World Youth Day, everything going on. They needed a break.
Yeah.
And so, but it was a really beautiful way of channeling, our Hispanic roots. The folklore dance is more Mexican, but the girls love the dresses. The guys love jumping around. So if you like dresses and you like jumping, you're good to go.
Yeah. But I assume there's a strong connection with Our Lady of Guadalupe there as well.
Yeah. Very, very much so, yes. Everything, that we do is for their glory only. And it was just a great way to, I guess, dance as a form of worship, which we had never really done before, except seeing it with them at that Chinas on this special day. So it's been really, really fun to be able to do that.
Wonderful. Well, Ana Leal Garza, I assume that anyone listening right now, even if they don't attend St. Bartholomew, could come join the group out in Katy. It might be a bit of a drive for some of our listeners, but maybe you could inspire people to start their own Hispanic young adult groups.
Yes, exactly. It's very, very much needed.
Okay, well, thank you very much for joining us here on the Catholic Lunch Break.
Thank you so much.
And wow, okay, so we're moving right along here. We've got one more segment left. Stick around with us for the Stella Maris Center. We're going to do kind of a year-end wrap-up with the Terry Johnson, who is a beloved repeated guest here on the Guadalupe on the Catholic Lunch Break. My name is Tim Mott. We're catching up on everything Catholic in Houston. You're listening to AM 1430.
Hi, I'm Charlie with Providence Roofing, your Catholic roofing experts here in the greater Houston area. Our extreme weather causes shingles to fail prematurely and your home to be compromised. In fact, the high heat and humidity can lead to water intrusion and mold growing in your attic. We specialize in roofs over 10 years old and work alongside your insurance company to ensure your home is safe and free of any water intrusion and potential mold issues. You can reach our team of Catholic roofing experts by calling 855-85-ROOFS or visit providenceroofing.com.
This is Father Jeff Boehm of the Co-Cathedral of the Sacred Heart inviting you to Adoration by Candlelight. The popular series returns as the Co-Cathedral is flooded by natural candlelight only, and the timeless musical treasures of the church rain down as we worship our Eucharistic Lord, praying for vocations and all those special needs in your life. Join us on Tuesday, October 18th for our first session, and then watch the calendar each month through March as we celebrate Adoration by Candlelight.
Have you heard of CatholicReads.com? If you're a reader or looking for a great gift to give and would enjoy learning about Catholic authors old and new, visit CatholicReads.com. Sign up now to receive the weekly email. Book reviews and discounts, sometimes free ebooks, featuring all genres. Nonfiction, fiction, historical fiction, sci-fi, mystery, poetry, memoir, graphic novels, young adult, middle grade, and even children's books. 'Tis the season to discover a new favorite. CatholicReads.com.
Everyone's invited to march and pray the Holy Rosary for the consecration of Texas to the Sacred Heart of Jesus. We meet at the Co-Cathedral of the Sacred Heart in downtown Houston on the second Saturday of each month at 4 p.m., so come early. We will march to City Hall and the courthouse promptly, praying and singing hymns, rain or shine. Bring your rosaries, Catholic icons, Catholic flags, banners, hats, and food for the poor. The Rosary is a powerful prayer. Come pray with us. For more information, go to consecratetexas.com.
This is the Catholic Lunch Break, where we catch up on everything Catholic in Houston. Right now, joining us in the studio is Terry Johnson, who is the founder of the Stella Maris Center for Marriage and Family. Hey, Terry, welcome back to the Catholic Lunch Break.
Thank you, Tim.
Happy Feast of Our Lady of Guadalupe.
I was about to say I was going to sound like a broken record and say it all over again, but you said it.
You can't say too much. Can't say it too much.
And I'm wearing my blue, so
I know
in
it looks.
honor of
That's
Our
a
Lady.
great color.
Thank you.
My Orthodox friend told me that in their icons, Mary is wearing blue, which symbolizes humanity, with red over it because God placed the divinity on her. But Jesus in the Orthodox icons is always depicted in red with blue over him because he is divine at the core and took on our humanity. So yeah, blue for humanity.
Blue,
I love
there it
it
is.
for Mary. So how are things at Stella Maris?
Things are very well at the Stella Maris Center.
Yeah, what's your elevator pitch? Just for those who aren't familiar, like what is Stella Maris? What's your mission?
The Stella Maris Center was created to enrich Catholic marriage and family life. So we put on events for engaged couples, for married couples. We really want to strengthen the domestic church.
And the holidays, Advent and the Christmas season, it's the time for family. A lot of people, whether you have broken family or it's full of rich family traditions, it's full of joy or sadness. I mean, it always brings to mind family and tradition and connectedness, well, whether you're missing that or whether you have that. So I think now's a great time to bring people's attention to what Stella Maris is doing.
As a matter of fact, we do have an event that's called Advent Family Celebrations.
Really?
That we just completed a program that we did at St. Joseph Catholic Church here in town. in which really the idea behind Advent family celebrations is to connect families to the season. There's so many times, I mean, this time of year, I think, is really busy, and the shopping, and it's like we want to skip, right? And you were talking a little earlier about how you go to Walmart, you go to Hobby Lobby, any of the craft stores, anywhere really. And when was it that we started seeing Christmas things?
It was the day after Halloween.
Halloween, right after Halloween. There it is. So it's almost like this rush,
Yeah.
right? This rush to Christmas.
Yeah.
So Advent Family Celebrations was really an idea to help families connect with the Advent season and to encourage. The devotion that we encourage a lot is the Advent wreath and the Advent wreath prayers. So.
Yeah, well, I was doing the Advent wreath with my family this year, and I was thinking, these prayers don't seem very standardized. Like, I wasn't sure which prayers to use. So, how did you find the right prayers for the Advent wreath?
Well, there are different resources out there that we promote and we utilize, because you're right, there isn't anything really standard. Different publishing houses put out different books or booklets, little pamphlets that have Advent prayers. And really, you can't go wrong, because the idea is to gather as a family, to pray, to keep the focus on Jesus, and to keep the focus on that there is this season called Advent. You know, it isn't something that we should just skip over. And excuse me. And it does help keep families focused on the fact that there is this beautiful, rich other season that a lot of times we don't pay attention to.
Yeah. So how else is Stella Maris strengthening the domestic church? You guys have you have products, you have classes, you have books. What is the number one thing right now?
Well, you had mentioned a little earlier that you wanted to hear a little year in review. Excuse me.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a cough button right there in radio for you. You can just hold that down, turns your mic off, let it go, it comes right back on.
I love it.
Isn't it great?
You should have told me about the cough button before. Okay, so as far as our year in review, we were actually able to serve 658 families. So as, you know, being a small organization.
Yeah, you have a very small staff there. That's a lot of families to serve.
Yes. So in marriage enrichment, we served 324 married couples. Marriage preparation, our number is 21 couples that we served. 160 couples learned natural family planning through the Stella Maris Center. We had 112 other families that took advantage of our other events, such as the First Communion festivals that we do. Our major parenting program that we do right now is the College Bound webinar. So it's to help those parents of older kids that are about to get launched off into the college world. And then we also have our healing seminar that we do for the adult children of divorced and separated parents.
Oh, wow, that's beautiful.
With Life-Giving Wounds
That's beautiful,
ministry.
yeah.
So, and then we actually went out and trained 41 people to do what we do and do what we love to do, which is...
Like go out in the parishes and do it there, or do it in groups, or how?
Yes, so we go out to parishes to help train marriage ministers. So we did 41 people, we trained 41 people to continue on the work of marriage and family ministry. So yes, very busy year, and we have another great year planned.
You also put out a book this year, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah.
I did. Thank you for mentioning
Well, tell me about it.
The book is called Dearly Beloved, Launch a Lifetime of Love with Marriage Preparation. And marriage preparation is my area of specialty. So even though the Stella Maris Center is a lot broader and bigger than just marriage prep, that is one of my loves. So I did write this little book called Dearly Beloved, Launch a Lifetime of Love with Marriage Preparation.
Nice.
And it's a little bit of a walkthrough as far as what couples will experience entering into the marriage preparation process.
Yeah, it's very important. Again, preparation, it keeps coming back to that, and that's why the church has the entire Advent season, the entire Lenten season, to prepare for the big feast. And so we have to prepare for something big like marriage. Matrimony is a lifelong commitment. It's permanent. Really, the Catholic Church does not believe in divorce at all.
That is correct. It's something that needs to be taken very seriously. And unfortunately, we still see quite a bit of jumping into it.
Right.
In our culture, and typically when couples jump into it, it ends up badly. So
Well, that's why we need more people to take advantage of ministries like Stella Maris. So how can people connect with you and learn more and get involved in the events that are coming up in the next year?
People can connect with us by going to our website, I Love Stella Maris, MARIS.org. When people first go to the website, they will be greeted by a little pop-up box inviting them to sign up for our Stella Maris Center news and features.
Yeah, don't just close that. Type in the email.
Actually, type in your email, yes, and connect with us because we do have some wonderful, wonderful things coming in 2023. We have what I like to call our signature Stella Maris Island Retreats.
Island Retreats?
Yes.
Nice.
So we like to connect with nature at Stella Maris Center. I think I shared with you way back when that one of the reasons that I love Our Lady Star of the Sea and this, naming our ministry the Stella Maris Center is because family life is just so gritty and so real and so. I used to go and stick my feet in the sand whenever I was having a bad day. So
yes.
So
the Island Retreat, is that Galveston Island that people are going to?
Yes, correct. So the Stella Maris Island Retreat is going to be on Galveston Island on April 22nd and 23rd. So people can actually pre-register. Our Stella Maris Island Retreat web pages are available. It's going to be actually, this year we're going to do it a little differently in that we're going to do it in English and Spanish.
Nice.
On the same weekend. So when we've done it previously, we've done it on separate weekends. This time we're going for it, and we're going to try to have both groups together so we can share some time together as well.
Wow. ILoveStellaMaris.org. Again, you can't have too much Mary in your life. So Our Lady of Guadalupe, Our Lady Star of the Sea, go to ILoveStellaMaris.org and sign up for that email list so you can connect with Terry here. Terry, thank you so much again for joining us here on the Catholic Lunch Break.
Thank you for having me.
I look forward to hearing from you much more in 2023. So, listeners, we've had a wonderful show. I told you about that. If you missed the beginning of the program, Nick Sawicki from the Co-Cathedral, the Archdiocese, told us about the first Lessons and Carols concert that's going to be happening this Thursday, 7:30 p.m. at the Co-Cathedral. It's free, so you can just go this Thursday, 7:30 p.m. I highly recommend the Lessons and Carols concert as one of the most beautiful prayer services, concerts, musical experiences I've ever experienced. So please go to that. It's going to be at the Co-Cathedral, 7:30 this Thursday. Also, the Abreu family Dunn family concert. The Dunn family fiddlers and the Abreu family violinists are getting together at University Baptist Church in Middlebrook on Friday at 7 p.m. So you got a concert at the Co-Cathedral downtown on Thursday, and then down southeast in Middlebrook on Friday. If you have any questions about that, you can reach out to me at grnonline.com. You'll find my contact information right there. Car raffle started. You could win a Mercedes. Go to grnonline.com. And right now, stay tuned for Dr. David Anders. We'll do this again next week. Stay tuned. Stay Catholic, Houston. May God richly bless you.